with late game execution.
No, ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, there's something in the NBA media. It's not even just the NBA media. Then again, it started with the NBA media because it came from somewhere. But the NBA media, and along with these YouTubers who are toe the line of, being in the good graces of sports media and NBA players around who want to be in the circles of NBA players so they can live stream with people like Gilbert Arenas and such. There's one thing I have seen for the last, I don't know how many years now. There's always some YouTuber out there, always caping for an idea of a certain player to leave a team that they on. I'm gonna use Giannis as an example. The minute let's say this. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. All right, let's go. Let's say this. So, in the beginning, once Giannis got his ascension into superstardom, once he got that, even still, then, Giannis is not that great. The only thing Giannis can do is run and dunk. He can run and dunk. He can't shoot. He can't shoot. They say that about him. Giannis is not that good. He's trash. Whatever. The minute there's a fake possibility of him leaving the Milwaukee Bucks, here comes the twerkers out of nowhere talking about, you didn't see him go to Golden State. Let's see him go to Golden State. Let's see him go to Miami, Toronto. Let's go play with LeBron and the Lakers. It's always that happening. And it seems like that's the only player they do that with. It seems like that's the only player they do that with. Maybe they have done. I never seen it with Jokic. They never try to get Jokic up out of Denver. They just say Jokic's teammates are bad, which is not true. I'm trying to think before Luka went to LA. No, not even with Luka being in Dallas. They never said that about Luka. There's always somebody got to join Luka. Join Jokic. Join Stephen Curry. It's never Curry going to leave Golden State and go somewhere else. Now, you do hear LeBron leaving the Lakers. So that's what he does. But they did it with KD. And eventually KD went to Golden State. And then they said KD don't belong in Golden State. You should go somewhere else. And eventually KD went to Brooklyn. And the rest is history because it hasn't gone well since KD has left. But I find it funny that Stephen A. Smith once said KD make the weakest move a superstar can make. But the minute things go wrong with the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis got to leave Milwaukee. It's like, what the hell, man? What the hell? And they doing it now. They already doing it now. When things go south, they want Giannis up out of Milwaukee. They do it every summer. Giannis should go to Golden State. And my problem with this all is, versus, of course, my team's the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't like hearing stuff like that. But this whole mentality of, like I said, I'm going to use Giannis again. Using Giannis to tell him to go somewhere else. It's just like, it's just annoying, and disgusting. It really is, because there is a former NBA city out there that once had a team, and then they lost it. And the city hasn't been really the same since, somewhat. Well, they got the Seahawks, and okay, I guess the Seahawks have won since then. But the Seattle Sonics, the city of Seattle is missing their basketball team. They still are. And I know it sucks seeing the Thunder do whatever they do year after year in OKC. Eventually, Seattle, people of Seattle, Washington, you will have an NBA team. You have your Sonics back. But it's sad when you see that. And it's also sad when we see a superstar leave the team that he was drafted by and to go someplace somewhere else. I think that's why people like Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, shoot, even Michael Jordan, in his prime years, people like that, Dirk Nowitzki, especially when you see those guys, Magic too, as well. You see, especially when you see those guys play for one team for a whole entire career. It's just this whole thing of just when the stuff don't go right, when stuff goes south, or the tough gets tough, it's all right. Just leave and go somewhere else. That's becoming too easy, and like I said, it's disgusting. It's a weak mindset, and we all know who started that mindset, but we ain't gonna say no names. And ever since he decided to take his talents to South Beach, it seems like it gives the leeway for everybody else to do that. I remember when big time superstars played for one team, and that was it. They retired. They do what they got to do. They do what they have, and sometimes they do fall short. Sometimes they don't fall short. Sometimes they do get multiple rings. It's unfortunate. Milwaukee's a small market team, and I think that's what sucks about it, because Milwaukee is a small market team, and everybody does not have the financial backing like a Lakers team to get constantly superstars coming there all the time. You know what I mean? And small market teams like Milwaukee, even OKC, at one point in time was Golden State, but I don't think so much anymore since Curry has been there. Phoenix Suns is another one. For example, Portland Trailblazers. I know how they feel. Trying to think more teams like Minnesota, somewhat Detroit, teams like that, small market teams. Yeah, you lose a star like Giannis or something like that, it hurts. But I just think it's too easy just for players nowadays just to leave. You gotta figure that out yourself. You gotta find ways to win, find different things to win. I think now that looking at it, the combination of Giannis and Dame just ain't working. Cause Dame don't have that winning mindset. Yeah, I said it. He don't have that winning mindset. He's not a winner. His game does not conducive to win. It does not translate to wins. I had to say it like that. Some people don't understand where I'm coming from. It just doesn't. And I remember not too long ago, I think it might have been a couple of YouTubers like Tiki TV said they rather have Jamal Murray playing alongside with Giannis than Damian Lillard. I think many people are saying that because Jamal Murray has won a ring playing alongside a big man. Jamal Murray is probably on the same par of Chris Middleton, but we can talk about what has gone on with the Bucks since they won that championship. That's for a different video, for a different day. But I think one of the reasons why we're looking at what we're looking at with the Bucks, one, because Dame got the blood class now, but two, eventually that team is going to have to change anyway, because at the time already when they won the finals, yeah, Giannis was 26 years old, but Jrue Holiday was 31. Chris Middleton was 29 and going on 30. Brook Lopez was already in his 30s. PJ Tucker was already in his 30s. Now, everyone else that contributed to that championship, they were still in their 20s. Like Connaughton, Bobby Portis, Giannis. Trying to think who else was on that team. Those type of players, they was right there in their 20s. Now they in their early 30s. Pat Connaughton, shoot, I forgot he was even on the team. First sign of him I saw him was at the game I went to last week with the Suns. But now they have recently gotten a little bit younger. I don't know if it's taking time to gel, because that is somewhat of a big overhaul with bringing in Kevin Porter Jr. and Kyle Kuzma and losing Chris Middleton. But they probably do need to get younger in the center position. But anyways, it's annoying, you know. It really is annoying. But I know one place Giannis won't go, and that won't be LA. And I don't think people understand the LA thing. LA is nice and all as a former resident, but taxes are high. Not everybody likes to be in that Hollywood atmosphere. And I remember Giannis saying he really is not a fan of LA. He doesn't like it. And I can understand why he doesn't like it. I get it. He lived in Milwaukee, but at one point in time, your boy was born in Milwaukee and lived there for some years before moving to California. And yeah, you come from the Midwest to the West Coast, it is somewhat of a small culture shock. It takes some adaptation, getting it used to. And yeah, I adapted well. It took me a couple years, but there's still some parts of California, LA I don't like. I don't like the politics, and of course the taxes. That's why my ass is not there anymore. But anyways, yeah, the NBA is the only sport where I see everyone. Well, there's always a bunch of YouTubers, a bunch of sports media analysts always trying to get a player playing a small market to leave that team, to go play for a big market team, to go help another person win. I just don't like it. I hate it. It kind of ruins the league, believe it or not. Some people probably won't see it that way, but it kind of puts a dim light on the league. It doesn't make the league competitive at all, because now, everybody, okay, let's say this. All the superstars who play for small market teams, they all go play for big market teams. There's only a couple big market teams out there. Now, everybody's on one or three big market teams, and everybody else is subpar and trash, while the big market teams are good. Nobody wants to see that. That was the problem in the NBA in the mid 2000s. Everybody wanted to play for a super team, and it just got ugh. But anyways, tell me what you guys think.